Hello, everyone. Welcome to Talking Reds. And in this episode, me and Naj are going to be looking at five of the biggest results for Liverpool this season that won us the Premier League title. Man City dropping off at some point earlier on in the season. Arsenal sort of were there for parts of it, but then they dropped off as well. Liverpool, since I'd say about since Feb, mate. I'd say about since Feb, we've not been playing incredible. I say first half of the year we sort of got all the job done. We got the points on the ball. We played some brilliant football at times as well. But since Feb, I say we've been playing poor, and obviously since winning the title, we've not even, but we've been fighting. So it has been a funny, incredible season. But we are Premier League champions. That is the goal of the season, and we have come out as Premier League champions. In a season where we thought third might be acceptable, good cup runs in Arne Slot's first season. Taken over from Jurgen Klopp, still the same team, pretty much. Barchiesa, if that counts. But we're Premier League champions. So me and Naj have been talking, discussing, and pretty much looking at every single result that we've had and over the course of the season. What stood out for us? What was a momentum shift for Liverpool? What really secured to you guys, the Liverpool fans? Yes, we're going to win this league. Yes, we are champions. And there's five specific ones that me and Nigel have come to fruition at the end of this. And we're going to start off with the earliest one, which was Brighton. Pretty much a comeback that we needed. 1-0 down, looking like down now. Brighton were playing well as well. Brighton were the better team that day, especially the first half. Much better team. Brilliant comeback from Liverpool to win 2-1 in the second half. That was quite early on in the season now. That was probably the earliest in terms of these games that we're talking about right now. One of the earliest games. But was it more of the mentality that changed that day, do you think?
Yeah, I feel like that was like what I did. I put a similar post out myself on my own channel. What Liverpool game was the game that you thought we'd win the league. And I didn't want to admit it, but when that game happened, the momentum shifted. Like when that 2-1 comeback, it was like, and I think that weekend as well, Arsenal lost, the City lost, and Liverpool come back and won. I think I'm right, or one of them may have drew or something like that. But that's what I felt like. That was a huge weekend where it just went both like turn around, and I feel like you could feel it. You could feel it in everyone, really. I mean, it's probably a bit too early to say, "Oh, we're going to win the league," but I mean, that game alone, though, I thought like, "Oh yeah, that we look like we mean business here. Like, really do mean business." But yeah, just with the comeback was good as well. Like, I felt like, we scored like sort of a cheesy goal, I would say. Gap post cross, swung it in. Nunez, I mean, he did the
Went
right
for it, didn't he? Went for it, but
he did the right thing and missed it because he did got over the bar.
the only miss that we're celebrating from him.
Yeah, and then I just think like it more of like a thing from Salah as well. That game, like the goal he scored, I think it was like, right, I'm going to take you on my back and we're getting this league title. And you could just tell when he runs the crowd. It was like a massive game. Like Anfield was absolutely electric that game as well, which was good. And like you say, Brighton were really, really good in that game. No discredit to them, but they were really good. And then we just found another gear. I think we've only needed to find them gears when we've had to this season, and that's been why we have won the league, I'd probably say. But I'll let you go to the next one because that'll be probably a similar answer.
So the next games that for me were the big moments in the season for Liverpool. No, two in the space of, I think were they back to back these games. I don't know if they were in the space of 2 weeks, but the Brentford away and Bournemouth away, two tricky games. These are games that people were looking at, rival fans, Arsenal fans specifically, doing spreadsheets on, they're going to drop points here, going to drop points there, drop points there. Brentford and Bournemouth were two games that were potential games to drop because Brentford playing very well at home. Bournemouth obviously a battering teams. I think Bournemouth had just previously beat Forest. Was it, what score was that? 5-6-0? They beat Forest. It wasn't long before.
Yeah,
I mean, before they played us.
I think they beat City a couple of weeks prior or something as
Yeah,
well.
so they were on the pretty much form of their lives. Brentford playing well at home as well. So two tricky games, both 2-0 wins. Brentford first, we were done. We were absolutely done. And you know what? We're big criticism of Darwin Núñez and what he has done for Liverpool the last 3 years. He should have done better. He should have been improved. But that Brentford game, that was a moment. And he has played his part in terms of winning the title because of this game alone.
Yeah.
Yes, he might not be able to. He might not deserve certain starts towards the end of the season. His attitude was a bit poor as well towards the end of the season. Well, but we've got to acknowledge this certain moment. It says Brentford away. We were 0-0. Brentford had chances themselves as well. Alisson Becker had a brilliant game that game.
Yeah, he did. He really did. Yeah,
Which can't be forgotten because obviously Nunes will get the plaudits for the goals, but Alisson Becker, this is why he's regarded as the best keeper in the world because his games, and we said it before, it's like his games go unnoticed because he's not a goal scorer. He's a keeper.
He's just constantly good, so you don't notice it.
Yeah.
Like it's like Van Dijk, him and Alisson. It's almost like Salah. I mean, you're looking at an attacker. They don't score. You're like, they're finished. You know, people are like that these days. But I think Van Dijk and Alisson are that high of a level that you don't notice it, like how good they've been. Like even towards, just like games this season, like you think, it's like you say Salah sort of come away with the plaudits or whatever. But you just watch them like, bloody hell, like you've made us win that game. Essentially, you're just that good. But yeah, I mean, Nunes, that game was very. It was weird, wasn't it? Because he come on the pitch and he stunk the gaff out loads of times when he's come on this season, and he come on and just basically on that
different player, yeah.
To everyone, didn't he?
Yeah, different player.
And there were 2 good goals. I mean, this is the issue with Nunes. Like we said this on this channel, I've said it over the last 3 years, time and time and time again. He is a good player. He just can't produce it, and it's the most frustrating thing ever. We know we've seen it. We've seen it with our own eyes. We've seen it when he comes to Anfield and he started like dinking Alisson and stuff when he's playing for Benfica, and we've seen it in the Champions League. He just can't produce. But on that day, he produced, and that's what I mean. A lot of us wanted to see him do consistently, and I find it very hard to get my head around that he can't score at least 10 goals in this Liverpool team because everyone...
that was coming off the back of joining Forest as well, away, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So we beat Accrington. We lost. Yeah, it was coming on the back of like a poor sort of run. We beat West Ham, battling 5-0, but then we drew against Man United at home, lost to Tottenham in the cup semi-final away, after the first leg. Then we beat Accrington in the FA Cup. Then we drew to Forest away, and then we lost away. We beat Brentford away. So that was coming on again, and
was that February?
Yeah, that was. It was January the 18th.
That's when we sort of like. I honestly think, and I'll go out and say this, and I think a lot of people agree with me. I think it was that good and exerted that much effort in that first 4 or 5 months of the season, that when we did hit January and the fixture pile up happened just after Christmas. I mean, did we have I think we had 8 games from like December the 23rd or 26th or whatever it was. We had like 8 games from then to like the end of Jan. It was like crazy. But I do think because we're so good at the start of the season, that's why we sort of got to where we got to. But then I think like sort of if you're looking at, Klopp, Slot didn't rotate. I mean, I don't think that's because he didn't have the confidence in certain players, which is fine. It's his first season. He doesn't want to go under the bus. He's onto a good thing. And I think, that's what happened sort of when we hit that period. The forms dropped because everyone's levels were just, I mean, Gravenberg looked like he'd run about, he probably had run about 10,000 miles.
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, you probably agree with me on this. We all knew this was going to happen because it happens all the time. When we put last season, we hit January, February, because we play so good at the start of the season. We hit that form, and we sort of hope that the fringe players can carry us over
a little bit more. Yeah.
I mean, last season, as in 23-24, I feel like when the big boys were out, like Salah and all that, they were out injured. They didn't step up, Nunes and etc. and stuff like that. This year, they didn't really step up then, to be honest. They haven't really stepped up all season. We're just I think we're fortunate to keep people injury-free. But yeah, I think we spoke about this the other week, actually, just thinking about something. What did Nunes contribute after we got that bid from Saudi? And it was just them 2 goals.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, that was it. And again, within that period that we needed it, I think. Again, I'm going to talk about the Bournemouth game in just a second, because that was another game that I'm talking about now in terms of what changed the season. Brentford 2-0 away, but then we beat Lille at home. That was a tricky game. We beat them, just about. We battled Ipswich away. Then we lost against PSV in the last game in the group stage. But then we had Bournemouth away again, another one that Arsenal fans were creating spreadsheets on as a loss, as a draw. And again, Bournemouth, like Brentford, give it as good as they got.
They were flying Bournemouth then as well.
Absolutely. In fact, I'm just going to go back on. So that was 1st of Feb. So let me go back on Bournemouth's results here. I'm just trying to think. They got some big, they beat Forest, didn't they, just before?
Yeah,
and Man City, like I said, let's just have a look 1 second. So before, the week before, they beat Forest 5-0 the week before. So the previous games, Bournemouth here, let's go on it here. So they haven't lost since, November, Bournemouth. So they beat Wolves away 4-2. They beat Tottenham at home. They beat Ipswich away. They drew at home to West Ham. They beat Man United away 3-0, as you do. They drew at home to Palace. Drew away to Fulham. Beat Everton at home. Drew away to Chelsea. Beat Newcastle away 4-1.
I remember that.
Then they beat Bournemouth at home 5-0. And then we played them. Hadn't lost since November the 23rd. Just beaten Nottingham Forest 5-0. So maybe the Arsenal fans were right to put a loss on the spreadsheet at the time.
But do you not think that a lot of the narrative this season is underestimating how good we was? Like, we went away to Bournemouth. They scored in every game since November. Haven't lost since November. And we go in their backyard and win 2-0.
Yep. And that for me is a huge result in terms of the league, but it's also a huge result in terms of mentality. It's a huge result in terms of like a statement.
Yeah.
To beat a team like that, the way they're flying. And Forest weren't even playing bad at that time either. It wasn't the Forest that dropped off at the end of the season. This was a good Forest side.
They were good. I mean, as well, didn't Arsenal lose to Bournemouth twice this season as well? I'm pretty sure they did.
Potentially, yeah, possibly.
2-0 away, they lost. Sleeve got sent off. And I think they lost 2-1 recently. So,
so it was a big result. Absolutely massive result. So, Brentford and Bournemouth away, both 2-0 aways, both tricky times, tricky games, tricky at the time as well in terms of the fixtures that we had. Playing in the Champions League as well, the group stage of the Champions League still at that point. Losing to PSV the midweek, obviously it didn't really matter that one anyway. Arsenal did lose to Bournemouth on 2-1. Just going up a bit further up in May. But that was, for me, that was absolutely huge to beat Bournemouth away 2-0 and beating Brentford away 2-0 as well in terms of that. So there's some big results elsewhere as well. We beat Newcastle away. I think the Newcastle at home, sorry, not away. The Newcastle at home in the midweek was probably one of our best performances since February. I'd say since February, I think we've had 3 or 4 really good performances. Newcastle at home, Tottenham at home, and one of them is right now. This one for me is another one that won us the league, and that was Man City away. This was the game I think Arsenal fans were looking at and thinking, they're going to drop some points here. So Man City away for me was another game that I thought we absolutely won the league, and the 2-0 away, Man City controlled the game. I admit that, but Liverpool were the better team by far. Slot set up a system with 2 false 10-9s, whatever you want to call them, with Curtis Jones and Szoboszlai up front. We out-tacticked Pep that day to the point of, like, I couldn't even believe what I was seeing, how good we were that day. Unbelievable result, massive game. Arsenal fans needed that game to bring them back into the title race. They just lost to West Ham, but we'd messed up before that. We drew to Aston Villa, we drew to Everton, we played poor against Wolves, a late winner against Wolves. So at that point, we were playing poor, and not only were we playing poor, results weren't going our way at times as well. Arsenal just lost to West Ham. They needed that there of like, Man City, you need to win this. And what a better team to rely on to get a result for them. And we did a number on them, an absolute number.
Most of our big games this season, I think the games where we've been at pivotal points, we've needed to win. or like just to go like basically like this is our league, you're not getting anywhere near it. They've all got like a really common correlation between them all. It's all 2-0s, isn't it? They're all 2-0s. 2-0 Newcastle, 2-0 City, 2-0 both times 2-0 City. You know, they've all got like a real common 2-0
Brentford,
score.
Bournemouth 2-0, yeah.
Yeah.
Nilling and scoring 2 as well, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be interested to. I'm trying to think off the top of my head, of away games this season against big teams. So I know we played United away. They didn't score. That was no goal there. Spurs, they scored 3, but we won 6-3, so it didn't really
yeah. Chelsea we lost.
Chelsea we lost. Yeah, I mean, but that was league was done then. Arsenal 2.
Arsenal drew 1-1.
2-2, wasn't it?
Was it 2-2?
Yeah, 2-2.
Yeah, 2-2. Yeah, I know we drew. Yeah, go on.
Newcastle
City we won.
City 0. Yeah.
Newcastle
I mean,
3-3. That was that dramatic one.
I think in the big games, I think we've been really good defensively as well. Like, I mean, not just for the 2-0 wins, like, you know, to nil City twice in a row. What team's done that? I can't even think of one. Like this, but and then people go, oh yeah, but they dropped off this season. It doesn't matter. Like, I don't think what teams nilled them this season really. I don't think there's been many. As though like maybe like us and didn't Arsenal nil them? I don't even know if Arsenal did actually.
I can't remember the Arsenal games.
But yeah, like not often that happens, and we did it twice this season. You know, I think credit where you got to give it. I think there's been a lot of, you know, talk about how good we've been attacking in them big games. Defensively, brilliant. I mean, Newcastle game obviously springs to mind. We should have won that game, and it was the comedy of errors.
Yeah.
But like it was, you know, we still got a result out of that in the middle of like that was probably a game we could look towards, the 3-3 at Newcastle. Like,
I think it's definitely up there for me.
Yeah, like
in terms of these 5 games, I think these are one of the pivotal ones. There's 4 obviously wins there for Liverpool. 2-0. Were they all 2-0 wins we just talked about there? Man City, Brentford, Bournemouth.
All 2-0.
The Brighton one was 2-1.
Yeah, 2-1.
The comeback, yeah.
So
I mean, you could even mention the Fulham game as a shout out as well. You mentioned the Fulham game, didn't you?
Yeah, the 2-2
draw 2-2 with 10 men. Again, another mentality shift.
That game as well. I don't even remember. Like you said, you might have not watched it live because you was playing football or something.
I was playing that day, yeah.
Like I remember watching on the TV, and I just was like watching it, and I was like, we look crap here. We look crap. Like Iwobi was just tearing Trent. Whoever was right back, it was Trent. Yeah.
Trent,
I think it might have been Trent. Whoever was right back was getting terrored. Andy Robertson was getting terrored, and I can't remember who it was. Anthony Robinson was just bombing at them all the time.
Yeah.
Just couldn't deal with it, and it was like balls swinging into the box, and you know, and then I could see someone getting sent off. Like I could just envision it because it was so erratic defensively, and I think that's when we hit sort of like bad form.
Yeah,
well, bad form, still in the league.
Which is yeah.
Robertson got sent off, and backs against the wall performance. Like, you know, we had to really dig deep. I think McAllister. I'm pretty believe McAllister was brilliant that game. I can't remember who else was really good. Van Dijk was great that game as well because he basically was playing on his own for most of that game at the covering 2 positions, and he was brilliant. And yeah, do you know what? Just when we come out of that 2-2, I was like, we could have actually won it at the end. I was like, wow, we could have won that game. And Fulham are no slouch. They're a good team, Fulham. They've got very good players, got very good attacking, very good coach. And I just remember watching it, and they got to the end of the game, everyone was like, 2-2 draw in that scenario. Like, most teams would have folded up there, and we didn't. We just win. And that was a sort of another game where it's like, we look different gravy this season.
Again, it was another game that we're going into December, wasn't it? It was going into Christmas time when the period gets hard, and then we had fixtures like Tottenham away the game after. We had something like West Ham away, which could be seen as tricky at times. But the game before it, we had some tough games. Did we play Arsenal not so long before it? I'm sure we played with Newcastle away before it.
Yeah.
With Newcastle, that 3-3 West Newcastle, with Man City at home. There again, the Arsenal fans were making spreadsheets at that time. And that was a game, again, potential dropping.
I think the December fixtures were like,
It got easy towards the end. We had like
Yeah,
Leicester
it was
and
like
West Ham.
Newcastle. I remember Newcastle being the first game of December, and then it was City, a
Tottenham.
Champions League game, Everton.
Yeah.
It got cancelled, didn't it? Everton game got
Everton
cancelled.
got cancelled. Yeah, it did. Yeah. Did we have like Real Madrid though in the Champions League as well?
Yeah, Real Madrid as well. And then we had United as soon as we come back on the 4th of Jan.
Yeah.
And then we had the League Cup game 2 days later. So that period, we played Fulham, was madness. Oh, Leicester, we had Leicester as well, didn't we?
We had Leicester in that time. Yeah, we had Leicester and West Ham.
Yeah.
There were two like all right games that we had.
It
was the Mo Salah triple captain Leicester.
Yeah.
Triple captain in, and then we had West Ham away and we beat them 5-0 then.
Yeah, you got 2 goals.
I did score against Leicester though, but to be fair to him, but so the final game for me and Naj this was the game for me. Not as like a big one for Liverpool and saying like, oh yeah, we can win the title. There were times where you like we can win the title. This was the game for me that said it's done. It's done. If you go onto our TikTok, if you go onto our YouTube Shorts, I did a funny video on this actually. Like the times where City are chasing you in the title race, I was running, and there were times like Arsenal chasing you in the title race. I was just walking nicely, steady, nice spot with the birds singing in the background. And this was exactly why I did this video, is because the West Ham beating Arsenal away. Not a specific Liverpool result as it is, but it was West Ham beating Arsenal away in that period between, I think February, they beat them away, which was huge because of the whole thing that happened before. So obviously our game in hand was also beat Bournemouth away, but then we had a game in hand against Everton away. Obviously, Everton got their last-minute winner. They say winner, 2-2 draw. Thank you for Everton because we got to win it at home. But yeah, so Everton got their draw against us. So that was our game and gone. We played Wolves the game after, but before the Wolves game on the Saturday, I remember this specifically because it was an early kickoff. Was it an early kickoff? Leicester Arsenal. Arsenal got the 2 goals, last-minute goals, a bit like Brentford, a bit like we did against Brentford away. Marino's got them both, yeah. And that was a game like Arsenal don't do this. We'd done this against Brentford with the Núñez double, but Arsenal don't do this. Arsenal don't grind games like this out, and they got one. And I thought, hang on a second, we've actually got a serious title race on our hands here with Arsenal doing that. Then on the Sunday, we played Wolves, scrounged a win. I'll be honest, absolutely scrounged a win. I don't think we deserved the win. I thought I'd draw probably the best result. But then we had Aston Villa away. That got rearranged, didn't it? Because was it the Carabao Cup final, wasn't it? So it got rearranged. So we played Aston Villa away, drew again. I thought Arsenal sniffing blood here. Arsenal can sniff blood. And they lost to Wednesday against West Ham at home.
I don't think that was a bad result, the Villa away.
It wasn't as such, but it was just dropping points, wasn't it? And I thought we sort of give a foot back into Arsenal, back into the title. I thought they can get back into a title race here. West Ham at home should be an easy result. Should be a result. Put more pressure on us. And that's the same weekend we were against Man City away.
Yeah.
So if they're beating West Ham that weekend, if they're beating West Ham on that Saturday, I think we go into Man City away, a different mindset. I think there's a lot more pressure.
I mean, do you know, like this season is like a big thing. Like I'm not really like, I do like stats and stuff like that, but I don't think it tells the whole picture. But like, only do like how many teams, we went on like a run for 27 games, but not losing a single game. I think we drew like 4 or 5.
It was Fulham that beat us, wasn't it? That broke it up, yeah.
So 27 games, I think 4 or 5 of them we drew. 1 being United, 1 beating Forest.
Everton, Villa.
Fulham. No, that was I'm talking before no, that was sorry.
It's Everton, Fulham. Everton, Villa, yeah.
Everton, Villa, yeah. So
Fulham lost just before Leicester and Tottenham.
Yeah, so it's 5 games we drew out of 26 or 27. So we won 21, 22 games out of them. And then, there's probably like, I think there was a period where we won like, was it like 12 or 13 in a row, something like that?
Yeah.
I'd seen a thing come up of Arsenal saying they'd not won. I think it was 2 games in the season, like without getting like a draw or a loss or something like that. So, that tells the complete story of the season, doesn't it? Like we were just a fantastic team in form, but like I almost think, and I don't know if you agree with me on this, I was going to ask this on another podcast or whatever, where we do another video or whatever, but I don't think we've got out of gear this season. We have when we needed to. But do you think like in certain? I feel like sometimes they're held back a little bit, Liverpool, and doing things. I think sometimes they're almost like.
We're going to talk about tactics. Yeah, we are going to talk about tactics.
Yeah.
I think those games where we've like not pushed on to get goals, that like I've said many times, like why we're not going down to counter attack, why have we gone backwards again?
Yeah,
I think it's time we could have really killed, and the only time I've really seen that since the turn of the year was Tottenham.
Yeah,
and Tottenham and West Ham actually. West Ham away beating them 5-0.
Yeah.
Was that in December?
They're all in December. Yeah,
Yeah. The turn of the year, the only time I think we've been ruthless was Tottenham.
Yeah.
Where it was like, also the 15 minutes against Arsenal.
Yeah.
I thought we were ruthless in that. Like, we were just going for more. We've got 2 goals. But yeah, the Tottenham game was like, I think we need to be more ruthless next season. But again, we're showing this season, Premier League champions don't have to be ruthless every week. Premier League champions, like I said, we've been playing poor since pretty much the turn of the year, really, apart from 1 or 2 games. But I think these games are the ones that won us the league title in those games. Yeah, and I think I do see my improvement in performance. I think, again, with Slot next season, we'll see more depth, hopefully. Better depth as well. So you're not relying on the same players that are grounded to the floor. Gravenberch has not been the same since the turn of the year. But we're that good at the first half of the year. I think Gravenberch's form pretty much sums up Liverpool this season.
Yeah. Fact.
He was sensational first half of the year. Second half of the year, he fell off a cliff, but he was still grinding out, and he was still playing. He was still playing and still grinding out, and this is what Liverpool did, and this is our Liverpool champions, and we're unbeaten in that time, like Naj just said. We got some big results. But yeah, the West Ham one beating Arsenal for me was I actually said I did a TikTok on it, said we're champions. I don't care if it was early. I didn't care if it was early. I said we're champions. And I'm never like that. I'm never that like optimistic. Yeah. I'm always realistic in terms of what Liverpool have done to put us through. But yeah, that was the moment for me. We're champions. But what an incredible season, Naj. How would you sum it up? One word to sum this season up.
Unexpected.
You know what? I can't believe you just said that, because that is exactly the word. I was like, that was exactly the word I was thinking. I should have done the countdown 3, 2, 1 and say it both together. That would have been weird. But yeah, that was the word I was actually thinking unexpected, because no one expected this. We were tipped, and us as Liverpool fans at the start of the season, we were like, third is all right.
Yeah,
if we drop off like below third, then that's not acceptable.
No, it's not.
Because like,
I thought third's fine.
There. Yeah, third's fine. Maybe don't fall off away from Arsenal and City, but stay around in and around. We didn't think Arsenal and City have fallen off. I think this should have been. I think I've spoken about this with Hooks. I think this should have been should have been time for Arsenal to capitalise, but they didn't. They fell off massively, and Liverpool are the only consistent team this season, and thoroughly deserve the Premier League title. And let's build on to that next season. Now we do want to see better. I think in performance wise, in terms of, I don't want to see drop offs. I want to see more rotation. I want to see better depth. I don't want to. Obviously, poor performances will come. I'll be angry at poor performances, but as long as it doesn't come out with poor results, that's all that matters. And how many times we said this season, Naj, we've got the result.
Yeah,
we've got the result. That's all that matters.
I think that's my most said thing on this channel. Is like, who cares? We
got the result. Yeah. But we always kept saying though, we need improvement. We need improvement in performance. This isn't sustainable. And in the end, it was sustainable somehow. But thank you, Arsenal, for allowing that. Thank you, Arsenal, for not putting us pressure on. And thank you, West Ham, for getting the results. That confirmed me that we are Premier League champions. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Make sure you do like, subscribe to the channel, and also get your notification bells on as well. Enjoy being Premier League champions, Liverpool fans.